Hey everybody, Grest here. So today we're going to talk about my favorite hunting rifle and how it's helped me harvest deer the last few years. Alrighty, so this is going to be a pretty cool video I've been wanting to do for a while. So a lot of you guys know that I'm really fond of deer hunting. Every time the fall comes around, the leaves are changing and the deer are in the rut. And I've hunted over the years with a lot of different stuff. I've been hunting since I was very young, so it's definitely not a new thing for me. But I like to kind of change it up over the years and stuff. But about 3 years ago, maybe a little past that, I decided that I was going to put together a project for an AR-15 in a suitable deer size caliber. So you guys have probably seen this on the channel in the past, but I thought it was about time, especially after 3+ years of deer seasons with this thing. It was a good time to go ahead and try to put something together just to show you guys, give you my experience on this particular setup. So go ahead and take a look at it right here, just so you guys can see that it is in fact clear. Okay, so nothing in the chamber there. Go ahead and drop the mag on this guy. So what we have here is a Aero precision receiver set, M4E1 particularly, and then I have a 15-inch Strike Industries handguard. It is in key mod. Ooh, so I know folks M-lock one out, but this guy is in key mod. I think I got this at some sort of closeout deal many years ago. Behind this handguard is a Faxon Firearms 16-inch gunner profile barrel. Out here on the end, we have a Rugged Suppressors M2 brake. And then kind of following back here, a couple other things. As far as the trigger, I have a LaRue MBT2S trigger. It's a 2-stage trigger made by LaRue. It's kind of a competitor to the Geisley triggers. And I have a Geisley airborne charging handle on the rear, and then a buffer tube and castle nut setup from Primary Weapon Systems. Okay, and then grip and the stock are both from Magpul. It's a CTR stock. I like these because you can cinch them up where they don't rattle. So especially when you're hunting, you don't want to make a lot of noise. And then topped up here is the Vortex Gen 2 Strike Eagle 1-8 power, and then it's on a Vortex Scout style mount. On the flip side here, we do have the Maritime bolt catch from Geisley as well. So you're probably asking now, what caliber is this particular setup in? Well, this is actually in 6.5 Grendel. Okay, so the barrel is a gunner profile barrel from Faxon, as I mentioned before. Majority of these parts I sourced from Brownells over a period of time. The receiver set, the handguard I know I got from Strike directly. They were closing these out for some stupid, unbelievably cheap price. I think I only paid $50 shipped for this thing. The barrel, of course, I got from Brownells as well. The bolt care group, I don't think anybody had 6.5 Grendel bolt care groups at the time when I was trying to piece this together. So this is actually Bear Creek Arsenal. They're actually known for having half decent 6.5 Grendel bolt care groups. And then I do have an adjustable gas block out here from Superlative Arms. Okay, so I've used a number of these over the years. So I also run a Magpul sling on this. For the magazines, I do run both Duramag 6.5 Grendel mags as well as the ASC mags. Typically I'm running the Duramags. I have a whole stack of magazines for this thing. This thing has been quite the beast of a rifle. I do set it up for a bipod up front, but typically I'm not running that depending on what I'm doing. I have a QD sling attachment up here as well. And you can see just by looking at it, it is got quite a bit of wear and tear on it already. This was custom Cerakoted in Magpul Foliage Green by my friend Chris Baker over at Mad Custom Arms. So shout out to him for the work he did on this some years ago for me. I heard it, you hit it. Yep. I heard something get hit again. Yep. So it must be dialed in fairly decent.
Yeah, I'd say that'll work. Especially for the elevation change.
Yep. But let's go ahead and talk about this guy in terms of my experience for deer hunting. So I've been hunting 3 seasons with this exact setup, and I'll be straight up front and honest, I'm more of a meat hunter than anything else. I enjoy being in the woods and watching the critters move around and stuff like that. However, I've had some really good luck with this thing as far as, you know, getting some nice looking deer, particularly with some horns on them. The very first year that I took this out hunting, I actually took it to a friend's property, just took a nice sized doe. I shot it very close. I am using, the entire time I've used this for hunting, I've been using the Hornady custom 123 grain SST loads, factory loads, mind you. I've not set up the hand load for this, although I may do so at some point in the future. Took a nice doe. It was about a 35-yard shot. It was a pass through the vitals. She ran maybe 10 yards and then kind of rolled down a hill there. The second year, here in North Carolina, I only have public land to hunt on, so there's some public game lands I like to hunt on. It's very big, a lot of hiking and stuff like that. I actually, day before Thanksgiving, season before last, I got a nice 7-point deer about 200 yards. I was standing, I had my hiking stick / shooting rest, and set up for a shot at 200 yards, broadside. It was another pass through actually at 200 yards. And that particular deer, I actually clipped the heart, but he still had enough adrenaline to run. He ran about maybe 20 yards, and then, you know, I was able to recover him, no problem. Last season, I actually went out of state to hunt. I actually went up to Kentucky. It's private land up there where I went, and we had the best time I think I'd had hunting in quite a number of years as far as deer hunting. Saw so many deer, it was absolutely phenomenal. And I got the biggest buck I've ever shot. He was a very nice 10-point at about 60 yards. I did something that I typically don't do with deer, although I have a lot of friends and family that do this. I took a neck shot, and the reason I took a neck shot, that was the only viable shot I had. He was broadside to me, but his vitals were behind an oak tree and his head were behind another tree, so I kind of had a slot in between there, and the neck shot took him down. So 60-yard shot, neck shot, he laid right there. So I was able to recover him. And then a couple days later, I took a doe at about 40 yards. It was a pass through as well. Very nice blood trail from that particular harvest. And she walked maybe 15 yards and then I recovered her. So the only bullet I recovered was from that big 10-point, that a neck shot, and that's because all the bone there in the neck, I was able to recover that bullet and then kind of look. Very good expansion on that guy. Those Hornady 123 grain SSTs do a very nice job of, you know, making sure your deer isn't gonna go very far when you shoot it. Overall opinion on this, after 3 seasons of deer hunting with this, very lightweight package overall, okay? This guy here does not weigh very much. I'll try to take a quick measurement of this guy and put it in the bottom as far as the weight. So if you're doing a lot of hiking and stuff like that, climbing in and out of tree stands, this guy is very easy to maneuver. The caliber itself, the 6.5 Grendel caliber, is a phenomenal deer cartridge. I would trust this cartridge based on my experience shooting deer anywhere between 35 and 200 yards out to probably 300 yards or so. If anybody has any experience themselves on 6.5 Grendel for deer hunting, please put it down below. You know, been very, very happy with this setup for deer. The optic, the Vortex 1:8 Strike Eagle, low power variable optic. I really prefer a low power variable optic for hunting, especially if you don't know where you're gonna be. If you're gonna be shooting short ranges or long ranges, it kind of gives you the best of both. So I've taken shots as close as 35 yards and as far out as 200 yards. And this guy has done a really good job at that. It does have an illuminated reticle that does assist in low light conditions. Again, another thing that's very important when you're hunting. I try to hunt before dark, and then I stay till the last moment. Typically, most states is 30 minutes past sundown that you're legally allowed to hunt. So, you know, this type of optic has worked out really well. It's not very expensive. I think somewhere between $300 and $400 for this guy. You know, again, it's been a very nice optic without spending a lot of money. I could get something probably nicer, but this guy has done a great job, so I can't really complain. I have no desire to change this setup. All right, so if you're looking to pick up something like this or put together a project, something like this, and you need parts, accessories, definitely check out my friends over at Brownells. They do a lot for the channel. I get majority of my parts from them. I do get parts from other places as well, but Brownells is my main squeeze for getting parts. If you go to my link tree down in my description box, you can head over to Brownells or one of my other affiliates and pick up parts. It definitely helps out the channel with doing projects and stuff like that. If this is your first time here on the channel and you like what you see, definitely hit that subscribe button down below. Hit that bell notification icon. Much appreciated. Like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Any questions or comments about this or hunting in general, please put that down below. And as always, I appreciate everybody watching and subscribing, and I will catch you all in the next video. Y'all take care.